Cancers, welcome to your weekly Sidereal Astrology forecast. This is for May 23rd through the 29th of 2016. I'm Athen, and this is for Sidereal. If you are new to the channel, be sure to check out the link because the signs are different. All right, so Cancer, this week we have the illumination still from that full moon from the previous weekend. And I think what the illumination was particularly involving your either home and family side of life or your health, if it was more skewed towards that side of it, or more towards your self-expression, because the full moon was right on the cusp between your fourth and your fifth house. So that's what is being implemented this week, right? Is that awareness, that awareness of what's been coming to us in regards to that, and what may have been also a status checkpoint of where you can continue to again cultivate your roots in life or your self-expression. So these have been big areas of development for you and reflection, because Saturn's been retrograde in your fifth, making sure that your self-expression is done patiently, is done in that grounded sort of way. And Mars has been retrograde there, but Mars is going to be dipping into your fourth house through June. And so there's a lot to be, retrograde through June. So there's a lot to be learned in regards to now what I think you'll be learning about in regards to home, family, your past, your roots. This is really your house as a Cancer. So a lot of the things that are important to you sentimentally, and a lot of the things that you learn at this time, I think, will be in regards to what you are motivated towards in this area, or maybe how you can be more independent or more direct in your personal life, and maybe put some energy into your roots and your foundations in life. All right. And this might mean that for some of you, at least on some level, might be a bit of this lowering of energy as Mars is getting closer to the bottom of your chart. But it's there to help you see that there is this motivation and drive, particularly when you are involved in your personal life, whatever that might mean for you. So good areas to rehash, rethink, redo, and reflect on regarding your roots. Now, Mercury recently went direct last weekend, and that was in your 10th house of career and your productive life. So maybe there's some things to apply this week in regards to that. I think it's a great week for that. Mercury direct, he's forming some, this very nice aspect with Jupiter and Pluto still. And I think a lot of the things you learned these past few weeks regarding your work or your career or your productive life can begin to move forward. And maybe even what you learned about yourself spiritually or with your communications, since Mercury rules your 12th and your 3rd. So this week, in terms of the aspects, we do have Venus opposing up to Mars this early part of the week, Tuesday and Wednesday time. And so with this, there is this balancing of the masculine and feminine side of the self. Okay, and I think where there has been a lot of focus for you right now is on your aspirations, or maybe for some of you networking or connecting with friends or your community, which is all this 11th house. Those are great areas for you to be gaining that energy with the sun and enjoying. Enjoying those aspirations, enjoying pursuing the future-oriented things, and maybe even enjoying some of those group activities. But with the opposition from Mars, this is suggesting that it's all about balance. All right, watching any extremes with that. Maybe learning to be direct in that area in a balanced way. And vice versa, Mars going into your 4th house, and even with him so close to your 5th, it's about balancing that, the self-expression. That there is a lot being learned about that. And there is some, there's some enjoyment to be had in regards to your creative side, although it's taken quite seriously. There's some enjoyment to be had with your everyday sort of hobbies or interests and these kinds of matters. But with balance, with tact. And that's Mars who rules your 5th house. So when you are expressing yourself, just bringing that extra attention to that self-expression. And when you are involved with your home and family, bringing that extra attention to your emotions or your home sphere, family sphere. And that helps keep everything nice and balanced with this opposition. So that's going to be the early part of the week. And then very important, on Thursday, we do have Jupiter squaring up to Saturn, which is going to be this ongoing theme in regards to the slow and steady building of what's possible. And I think what has been shifting in regards to what's possible is your sense of self-worth. Maybe getting a clearer understanding now and implementing a greater understanding of what your time's worth, energy's worth, what you're worth. And this is particularly on a material level. Or maybe some of you are learning more about the importance of cultivating your material life. Could be opportunities to cultivate your material security. But Saturn's over here saying, but with patience, that these things take time. To have that slow and steady growth, that slow and steady perspective to what is expanding for you, I think materially, or can be. And that's a good way of working with it constructively. Putting in that energy of Saturn. Taking that constructive approach to the finances or the enjoyments of life. And cultivating that into the long term. Now, vice versa, Saturn in your 5th house is helping you guys get very disciplined again with your self-expression, maybe with your interests, your passions. And Jupiter's over here saying, yeah, but maybe there's some possibilities with that, even though it may seem a bit more on the denser level with Saturn. So that's the constructive way of working with this. It's all about slow and steady growth, building possibilities. And I think it's particularly involving those what may be more serious right now, things close to the heart or your self-expression or hobbies and interests, as well as the material life, which might be your material security, finances, and these types of matters. So that's the week in a nutshell. I think the big emphasis will be the fact that energies are still quite high because the moon is still going to be in this full moon phase the early part of the week, and then still in this disseminating phase as we go through the week. And I think a lot of it's about implementing what you may have been learning or you did learn in regards to home, family, in regards to your health, in regards to your self-expression, and moving that stuff forward this week. And even in regards to the stuff that you could be moving forward involving your career or your productive life with that Mercury direct there. And and this is a good area to be kind of working because Mercury is a very routine-oriented sort of planet, taking care of things, taking care of business there, and continuing to focus on your aspirations, enjoy those aspirations, maybe connecting with friends, and that opposition with Venus and Mars just bringing extra attention to that area, to self, to home, to family, and also to your self-expression. All right, so Cancers, have a fantastic week. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next week.